Thank you for participating in the audio tape and CD ministry from Christ Unity Church in Medford, Oregon. At the conclusion of this presentation, please continue listening for important information.
O loving Father, Mother God, we take this moment to become aware of your presence moving in and through us. In this moment, we take time to be open, receptive, and responsive to your instruction and guidance, that we may move forward in the name and the nature and in the power of the indwelling Christ. Amen.
Good morning. And welcome this morning to this Sunday just before Halloween. Here at Christ Unity Church, our guests are always welcome, whether here in the sanctuary or on the internet. And we like to acknowledge our guests as first-timers, because after that we hope you will feel at home with our church family. For those online, please drop us a note. And for those here in the chapel, please stay following the service for fellowship so we can get acquainted with you. If this is your first time at Christ Unity Church, please raise your hand. Okay. We have a welcome packet for you. See. Did you get everybody? Okay, we have. If you can.
Give him the big packet.
Okay, did everybody get one that's here for the first time? And for those who are online, please use the link of the page you are viewing the service. And thank you for coming, because you bless us with your presence.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today the lesson is Spirit within has given me life and is renewing me with life. Once when Jesus was attempting to explain a spiritual truth, his disciples complained because the teaching was difficult. They were looking at it through a filter of limited thinking. He was teaching them about spiritual insight that was beyond what they were comprehending in the physical world. It was a message of spirit and life. Whenever life seems difficult and there is a need for healing, I affirm, Spirit within has given me life and is renewing me with life. Having affirmed wholeness, I sit in the silence, continuing to be aware that Spirit is healing and strengthening me. Guided by Spirit, I honor and take care of my physical body. I always know, however, that Spirit within is my true source of wholeness. In this awareness, I am at peace. It is the Spirit that gives life. The flesh is useless. The words that I have spoken to you are spirit and life. From John 6:63. Thank you.
Thank you, Bertie.
We live the truth we know. We live the truth we know. And one of the ways that we work to increase our understanding and awareness of the truth we know is through prayer and meditation. And so now we take just a moment, we rest, we think, we hold the thought of the truth of us, and we start with this song, I am. Steve? Having acknowledged that truth of you, that's a powerful statement. With each breath I take, I allow that feeling to embrace me. That feeling comes from knowing I am beloved. And while it is always the truth of me, in this moment I know it. And with this knowing comes peace. With this knowing comes serenity. From this place of knowing, I can set aside all that which is mine to do later in this day. And I can set to rest all of that which has occurred before this holy moment. In this place in consciousness, I listen. For in prayer I have asked, and here in the silence I receive that which is mine in this moment, and I claim it. I take ownership of it right now. It is mine, and I say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I allow this gratitude to swell and move in and through me. It comes into this now, to this when, to this room, and joins with thoughts of like mind. And it grows in strength and power and moves from us into our community, wherever that may be, into our country, and throughout the world. And as this thought of love, this thought of peace, this thought of serenity moves through our world, somewhere, someone says, thank you. For in this moment, that is exactly what I needed. In this moment, love lifted me. In this moment, peace healed me. In this moment, I am grateful. And that gratitude swells and returns to you, and the circle is complete. And with each breath I take, I feel that flow. I am that flow. And in it, I move and breathe. It is my being. I choose it and I claim it. And holding on to it, allowing it to be a part of me in this moment. Gently, easily, and effortlessly, I bring my attention back to this now, to this when, to this room. And from my heart, I pray as Jesus, my elder brother, has taught me, in this manner.
the world calls you a clown, the habit of loving. Though the world may miss you, the habit of smiling, laughing, loving, this you can do. The habit of singing. Though the world is out of tune, the habit of humming. the world says, what's the use? The habit of praying. Though the world has lost its view, the habit of giving, dreaming, praying. This you can, giving, dreaming, playing. This you can, giving, dreaming, playing. This you can do.
Talking this morning about coordinating activities. And it only worked in the sense of they're all still in the building. Let's do this together. Now, and Jim got in the middle and sat and said, figure it out, girls. Works for me. Works for me. The fun part of that for me is that when I try and control my world, it doesn't always show up that way. And yet, the end result worked out just fine. And that's a really good reminder. Thank you for that. It doesn't have anything to do with our class today, our lesson today, but it just kind of worked for me. You're welcome. Good help is so hard to find most of the time. Mostly it's just playing. You see, this is a habit that I have established for me, and I pass on. Now, I realize that most everybody doesn't get it, and that's okay. I choose on a regular basis to be joy-filled. I absolutely, positively choose it. Giving the choice to be bleh or joy-filled, I choose joy-filled. Now, the Bible quote that I have on the board, Jesus said, I have spoken these things to you that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be full. He laid this line down just before he laid this one down. And therefore, my commandment to you is to love one another. Now, I find it intriguing, absolutely intriguing, that there's a precursor to love one another. I wonder if he did it on purpose, or did it just kind of work out that way? Kind of like the choir all getting down today, right? Just kind of worked out that way. It's a reminder to be joy-filled, to choose joy. Now, you need to decide what that means for you. Some people think that joy is jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. I don't know that I agree with them. But if they are joy-filled all the way down, isn't that wonderful? I asked somebody, why do you do that? He says, you just can't believe the thrill. I said, what about the sudden stop at the end? He said, I don't even think about that. It's the joy of being free. It's the joy of expressing. My son lives out in Sam's Valley, and they have a little private airport right behind him, and they get jumpers all the time that go up, and occasionally you can hear the new one. It's really not the new one. That's the part that cracked me up. That's what I figured out. New guy. No. Absolute exuberance. Just full of life and enjoying every moment in the way they know how and are choosing to express in the moment. Right? And that's what living is all about. That's what life should be all about. Now, that doesn't mean other stuff isn't going to happen to you. It will. But when it does, what will you choose? What will you choose? What will you look for? Is it a habit with you? Now, we all know when we hear the word habit, most everybody puts a word in front of that. And is the word in front of that word habit good or bad? Ooh, I just heard a lot of bad habits, right? And we seem to focus on those because we want to get rid of them, yes? Okay. What would your world look like if you changed it to all my habits are good ones? Maybe I'd have to change some of my activities. Maybe. But mostly what I'd have to do is change my thinking. Really. Just change my thinking. Now, things change over time. I understand that. We had a wonderful experience last night. Mike and Pam invited us to join them for the Rogue Valley Chorale that was at the Criterion. That was a wonderful, absolutely wonderful concert. But for me, my favorite part was a talking piece, didn't have anything to do with the singing. Because they brought all the costumes through. They've been in business as a chorale for 35 years. And so they showed us what the ladies wore when they first started, the gowns that they were wearing, and what they had the guys in. Right? And then as the costuming changed over the years, they showed us that those changes over these last 35 years to what they wear today. And it was fun for me. Because here was, right in front of us, an example of change, not just for the sake of change, but change to enhance that which we do. A change to reflect the nature of our day. A change to reflect our understanding of the day. Now, it didn't come out that way. People are saying, wait a minute, Rob, they were in costume. What are you talking about? Okay? Things change. I can remember that in this room, not that many years ago, there wouldn't be one lady in this room that didn't wear gloves. And a hat, somebody just reminded me. Okay? And it wasn't that long ago. This room is not that cold. You don't need gloves. And it doesn't rain inside. You don't need a hat. I don't think that's the reason it happened, but it's kind of fun to watch how it changed. Before we went to this concert, Lynn said to me, what are we supposed to wear? I started with, a Rob thing, clothes. And I said, I don't know. I just know of other events that I've been to in the area, somewhere between jeans and a T-shirt and a tux. I mean, that just seems to be the spread. And when we got there last night, by golly, I was right. All the way from jeans and a T-shirt to a tux. And it was all right. It was wonderful. It was much more freedom, if you will, of form than in the past. Because I can remember being told this high, no, we don't go to San Francisco to the theater without a tie, period. No, I don't care that you're only 9, you're wearing a tie. This coming from a woman who never wore gloves when she could avoid it. So you see where I get it. Okay? Convention is not the name of the game. Right? But being free to express who you are. And if you choose to be in that extremely formal attire, isn't it great? And if you choose to be in jeans and a T-shirt, isn't it great? Because in the moment, what they're seeing, they're coming together in a common purpose and expressing joy in their own way. And my job got real simple. I just got to watch. And not be concerned about whether I was in jeans and a T-shirt or a tux. I just need to be joy-filled. I just needed to choose it going in. And I think back, as I'm moving through my life, how blessed I am. And that's the only word that I can give you, is blessed. That I was introduced to so many things in my lifetime. I can remember playing in the park in San Francisco and being told with my brother, have a really good time, and when you hear the Lone Ranger, it's time to come back. Now, my folks were at a concert where the last piece of the day was the William Tell Overture. Now, at this size, I didn't know William Tell, but I knew the Lone Ranger. Right? And when they played the Lone Ranger, my brother and I ran back to the folks. Right? Throughout my life, opportunities come in front of me to choose to take or not to take, to be given the freedom. It's again, one of the blessings in my world is that I was raised in that. We're going to present you with a lot of things in your lifetime. The world will present you with a lot of opportunities in your lifetime. And if you will choose them wisely, things will go really well. And if you don't, consequences are consequences, right? Experiences are experiences. You're going to have those. And I had a lot of them in my lifetime. And over the course of that lifetime, I've learned to choose. Make things a habit that are good for me. When I first start doing stuff, it's like any other habit. You think, oh, today I don't feel like this. Whatever that habit might be. Or the change in pattern. Let's word it that way. Change in pattern. And I have to remind myself consciously to do it. Now think about your day for the remainder of the day. I know we all have things that we have to do. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful day. There's no clouds in the sky. It's just kind of pretty. We can go look at leaves or whatever. What will your day look like if you will consciously choose to find joy in it? Consciously. Not just walk around here with blinders on, but consciously find joy in it. It's fun for me to watch today because I give Avis a bad time about make sure that she tells the family to show up occasionally. She says, I tell them all the time, and here they all are. Right? And the same thing with Sue and Sandra, bringing all the family with them. Okay? And to find joy in it. Okay? Now, let me point out that this does not mean agree with. As a youngster, I found a lot of joy in tormenting my brother. He didn't think it was so joyful. I was having a great time. Maybe that's not what I should be doing. Only because what came with it? Consequences, yes. Now, sometimes I didn't recognize those consequences. It came a long time later to learn what those consequences were. Didn't change the fact that I was joy-filled in the moment. My point being, more than anything else, is you need to think about it. But what you choose to be filled with joy about. Does it go with the next phrase from John? To love one another. Am I joy-filled and prepared to love one another? Right? That becomes then the choice issue once again. I talked to somebody the other day, just kind of tickled me. When we work together like this, we forget what this feeling feels like for us as how other people feel about what it is they are doing. And so you get in a group of other people, and you're like this, and they're going. They're not quite sure what's going on in the world. They're still in a place that says, if I just have the exactly right teacher, then I'll be on my path. If I can just find the right book, then I'll be on the path. If I can just discover the secret, I'll be on the right path. So you're still out here in Scatterland. Okay? And you and I are blessed because we know where that is. I know the best teacher I have. Anybody not know where that best teacher is? I'll give you a hint. It's something you see in your mirror every morning. Yes, that would be you. You are your best teacher. And just as with any other teacher you have ever had in your lifetime, you don't always listen. True? Yeah. Don't always listen. It's a choice, and it's okay. That's the whole idea, is learning how to make your choices. Making choices for good in your life a habit. Making joy in your life a habit. The alternative just hums. Why go there? And I know a lot of people that do that. Walk around their whole life going, right? How sad for them. And I love them anyway. I don't have to like their behavior, but I love them anyway. Right? That is so freeing. It also encourages others to suggest that you're not wrapped too tight, that you need a coat with wraparound sleeves that tie in the back. that in our particular community, to north is a really nice place for you to go. Because by and large, most people don't understand. But you see, the more you and I work together, the more that we make choices to be joy-filled, the more that we make choices to love one another. Don't have to like them, I just have to love them. The more that we live that, not just say the word, but actually live it, our world changes. Consciousness lifts. The very thing that we have asked for continues to lift. Now, are there still pockets of resistance? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I took a class like the last week, and my instructor was from Unity Village, and she was talking about a group who came to Lee's Summit for a conference, another religious organization. And they had a wonderful time, and she went and participated, and they asked her if she was part of that cult out there at Unity Village. So we still haven't lost that feeling yet from some people. And we just, those of us who've been in a long time, we just smile and go, oh yeah, that would be me. Because here again, what did I start with in our meditation? You live the truth you know. Okay? How do you change your thinking? Well, by bringing it into your heart. By bringing it into your heart. By taking a look at it. By being open to it. By knowing that there are so many different paths. That if one chooses to go the incense route, okay. One of my favorite celebrations at Easter is to do the 12 Stations of the Cross in our local Catholic Church. It's just a beautiful service. I don't think the Pope's infallible, but that's okay. It's a great service. There's a lot of people who do, who think that's the right way to behave. That's the lessons they've learned. That's the truth they know. They live that. And you certainly can't argue that Mother Teresa did a pretty fair job. Somewhere around sainthood, I suspect. Okay? There's so many nice paths, so many neat paths. Knowing that, why would you choose a yucky one? Oh, just because. Because when I'm down, people love me more. Try that one on. If I'm feeling bad, I'm the chicken soup king. Oh, Ron. Poor baby. Oh. Oops. And on the surface, that looks good. But am I really being joy-filled with it? And for me, the answer is not really. I like that. Don't get me wrong. But now, instead of getting that, oh, Rob, from that direction, I get it from the other. That being so joy-filled, people want to be around me. People want to hug me. People want to talk to me. And with that comes the responsibility of being in tune and being in touch and understanding the truth of me. And the truth of me, it is not I, but the Father that does the work. That's the truth of me. And that, too, is a habit and a choice. And I'm getting really good at it. No intended too much. Just a little bit. Okay? And sometimes when you get to that place, it sounds as if that's kind of ego-driven. Oh, who put you on your pedestal? You know? And if it comes across to you that way, too bad for you. And I say it that way on purpose because that's not where it's coming from me. For me, it's the blessing. For me, it's the habit of being one with. For me, it's the joy of saying, I love you. For me, it's the ability to practice the habit of recognizing the Christ in you. I see the Christ in you. And that is so much fun. So this week I invite you to pay attention to your best teacher. Look in the mirror and start this way. I love you. Together. I love you. Keep making a real clear picture of that mirror. I bless you. I bless you. The biggie. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And the path setter for your day. I behold the Christ in you. Together, I behold the Christ in you. Your world just changed. Make it a habit. Namaste.
Thank you for listening. Please feel free to pass this message along to your friends and family. You can obtain additional audio tapes or CDs by visiting our website or by calling our office at 541-772-6902. We invite you to join us in prayer. We know that prayer works, and now you can send your prayer request to our prayer team here at Christ Unity Church by using the form on our website. The activities, programs, and services of this ministry are presented on a love offering basis. All gifts, regardless of size, are gratefully accepted. You may participate either by sending your gift to Christ Unity Church, 540 North Holly Street, Medford, Oregon, 97501, or by visiting us on the Internet at www.unitymedford.org.